Doing Magic, A Course in Manifesting an Exceptional Life, Book 2 by Genevieve Davis. The 2 steps to doing magic. 1, ask. 2, receive. That's it. As soon as you have asked for anything, your next immediate job is to get out of the way. You need to get out of asking and into the receiving state as soon as you possibly can, because nothing will work until you do. As you may have guessed, it is receiving that is the most important part of all. Technique 1, letter to the universe. Clear your mind and begin to write. Remember, this is a letter, so begin by writing your address at the top, then adding today's date. Address, the universe, the power, God, Christ, the goddess, the one, my higher self. The choice must be yours. Address the letter to whomever or whatever you deem significant and powerful. At base, most of our desires have a fear, usually fear of the opposite occurring. If you want to manifest money, you might fear losing your home and not being able to pay the bills. If you want to manifest a mate, you might fear being lonely forever and never having children. So identify the fear which is at the base of your desire and write it as a statement of fact, a belief. For example, I fear I won't be able to pay my rent and I will be evicted. Get that fear out there into the open where we can deal with it. Write down every fear, every worry, and negative thought you have in relation to this state of affairs. What will be the consequences of the situation remaining or coming to pass? What will this cost you? Next, think of one reason why this will never happen. The purpose of this is to swiftly move your gaze from the hell you have imagined to a more affirming place. You need not write this down. It is simply a device for changing your focus. Finally, write a new script for your life. Ask the universe or whomever you have addressed to grant you the exact state of affairs you desire. Write in the present tense and in great detail. Don't stop until you have created the perfect moment where you are utterly spent. Write until you can't think of a single thing to add to your perfect manifestation, the point at which anything more would spoil it. Finally, add your sincere thanks and sign the letter. Now, take the letter. If you have used a computer, print it out. You are now going to send the letter to the universe. Some people like to burn their letter. This is helpful because it allows you to fully let go and get on with your life, an essential step in magic or reality creation. But I have another way of getting around this issue, which is a lot more fun. Take a box. You could use just an ordinary throwaway cardboard grocery or delivery box, but you can buy really attractive, tough cardboard storage boxes in many shops, the type that have a lid, like a very expensive shoebox. If the box is something you admire and are happy to have in the house, you're likely to respect the process more. This will lead to better results. Take your box, cut a slit in the top or the side so that it is effectively a post box. Then tape it shut. Make it impossible to open without removing the tape or ripping the box. If you like, you can further decorate the box and label it the universe. This is your one-way post box to your higher power. It is your means of communicating. From now on, when you find yourself yearning for something else, set aside another hour and do the process all over again. All asking is only done on paper and it is posted into this box. Once it is posted, you do not ask again. Technique 2, the meditative visualization. Here are the steps. First, sit down and get comfortable. You can sit in a cross-legged position or in a high back chair, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you will be comfortable for the next 15 minutes. You should either close your eyes or have a blank wall in front of you. It is not necessary to get into a meditative state, but you don't want to be disturbed by visual stimulation. Set an alarm to go off in 15 minutes time. Bring into mind the object or state of affairs of your desire. Your job for the next 15 minutes is now to enjoy thinking about your desire in every last detail. You need to become excited. You need to feel as you would if your desire had fallen into your lap that morning. Your dream has come true. How would you feel? Feel that. There must be no doubts in your mind about when or whether or how you will get the desire. Just enjoy the feeling of having, of receiving this wonderful gift. In visualizing, you are getting a real sense of what life would be like if you already had your goal. This helps you to believe that the goal is already yours. Believe this strongly enough and the goal will come to you reliably and quickly. Technique 3, Earl Nightingale's secret. One, write down on a card what you really want. Make it one single goal. Two, read the card each morning when you get up and ongoing to bed at night. Three, replace all fearful, negative, or impatient thoughts immediately with a clear vision of your goal. Four, your mind must only think about what you permit it to think about. Five, give of yourself more than ever before while moving constantly toward your goal. Never sit around waiting for things to fall into your lap. They won't. Your returns in life are directly proportional to what you give. Whatever your job, work harder and put more into it than you ever have in the past. Six, let go of attachment to how, when, or even if your goal will manifest. This particular technique can be quite difficult for beginners to master. Techniques like this involve constant attention to the thing you are asking for. For many people, this just means staying in a constant state of asking and therefore lack. Techniques that require you to think of your goal as often as possible can keep you stuck in the asking mode and hence never receiving. You require huge discipline of mind not to think of your state of lack every time you look at your card. If you find it very difficult to control your thoughts, or if most of your thinking is negative and fearful, don't try this technique. If looking at your card only serves to remind you of the absence, lack, and longing for things to be different, don't use this technique. So why have I included this technique? It seems to go against all I have said about moving away from asking and into receiving. The fact is that many people have been successful with this. For the right person, it can work wonderfully. If you find looking at your card motivating, exciting, and that it makes you feel fulfilled and happy with your life, do it. If you are easily able to change negative thoughts and replace them with positive thoughts of your goal, then you should try this technique. Which technique is right for me? It is a simple truth about magic, reality, creation, and the law of attraction. You need to feel good about what you are doing. This means any asking technique, including visualization, will only work if you enjoy it. I like to write down things. I have had a lot of success with simply writing down what I want and then describing in detail all the reasons why it is coming to me, why I will definitely get it, and why I already have it. It's not surprising. After all, I am a writer. I am very used to communicating, working things out, thinking and feeling in written form, but I don't think the act of writing something down 30, 50, or 100 times is remotely important. It isn't the technique itself that has any power at all. The process of writing desires down repeatedly works for me because it helps to get me into a particular state, the state of receiving. And that's really what these two short books are all about, to teach you how to get into the essential state of receiving, not asking. And this truly is how you do magic. And now I will reveal to you the most effective way of asking of all. Don't ask. You have had an entire lifetime of asking. It's time to stop. You don't need to ask again. If you have a strong desire for something, you have almost certainly already asked for it hundreds of times. Getting into the receiving state. Do you remember from Becoming Magic, I said that wanting is the opposite of having? If you would like to change something about the present moment, it means you're wanting it to be different. And if you continually want things to be different, this will effectively block all your manifestations. Why this works is no great mystery. Wanting is effectively a state of lack. If your persona radiates lack into the world will respond by reflecting more lack back to you. A vital part of getting out of asking and into receiving is to give up all notion of how or when or even if your desire is going to appear in your life. When you are proficient in accessing the non-wanting, non-anticipating, non-asking magical state, you will wonder why you couldn't have discovered this way of living sooner. There is a reason that women are usually particularly good at magic. It's because of their innate nature as more chaotic, receptive, yielding, more fluid, and non-linear. They're less rule-governed than men. If you don't feel like or believe yourself to be the type of person who could or should have your goal, you won't get it. So a great step along the road to belief is to begin acting, talking, and thinking as if you already had your goal. This is easier than you might think. Picture a person who has what you want. How would they speak and act? Act like that. Where would they have lunch? Have your lunch there. What would they read? Read that too. How would he or she dress? Wear those clothes. Of course, there are often financial constraints on where we eat and what we wear, but just a small movement in the right direction can be enough. Go and have a drink in an expensive hotel. You must become the person you want to be first, and life will reflect right back at you with all the good things benefiting that person, befitting that person. How you do anything is how you do everything. Act like the person you want to be. Why does this work? It's because when you act as if something is already here, it feels as if you already have it. So the more you can feel like you already have your desire, the faster it will come. My deepest desire was to be able to manifest effectively and consistently. So I began to look for evidence of my own truly magical ability, the ability to manifest what I wanted. I began to actively, consciously, and continually look for signs that things really were going exactly my way and that I was getting everything I asked for, that everything was slotting into place. See everything as evidence of your growing power, your immense divinity. If any unexpected money comes into your way, even if just that a utilities bill is lower than expected, see it as evidence of your manifesting money. From a penny on the pavement to a pay raise, everything, explain it as evidence that money is coming to you like magic. If you want to be happier, don't focus on the things that depress you. Instead, notice and exaggerate all the good in your life. I'm saying that complaining is simply keeping you having something to complain about, because you will never get rich if you spend your time complaining about money and being angry or jealous of those with money. Money won't come to you until you feel rich. Find a way to be as happy as content with your current state of life as possible. Feeling grateful is one good way to do this. Happiness is not what comes as a result of good things coming into your life. Good things come into your life as a result of your feeling happy. I tell you to feel grateful for what you have because it is vital to becoming and doing magic. When you are in the emotion of gratitude, you cannot feel resentment or jealousy or fear or poverty. When you feel gratitude, you're part of a different, richer, more happy and complete story of life. And here's the real kicker. The more you feel grateful, the more you will have to feel grateful for. Why does this happen? It's because the feeling of gratitude is akin to the feeling of having. When I make a decision to trust absolutely and completely, I accept that everything is working out just right. I let go and stop trying to make things happen, safe in the knowledge that everything is being taken care of for me. In this state, it actually doesn't matter whether or not I achieve my goal, because I am trusting that no matter what does unfold is exactly the right thing for me. So when I trust, I have no attachment to any outcome, not even to the thing I am attempting to create. But more often than not, when I can really let go and trust, I do get exactly what I intended. There are a lot of writers who suggest all you need to do is manifest successfully is feel happy. After all, what do you want from money? To feel secure, entertained, happy. What do you want from a new partner? To feel loved, needed, happy. What do you want from a new job? To feel fulfilled, purposeful, appreciated, happy. At base, all we ever want is to feel happy. So couldn't we achieve everything simply by focusing on happiness? This isn't a bad place to start. Focus on being happy, feeling happy, manifesting happiness, and all those things that will make you happy will come to you. So there is a very good argument for working just on happiness. However, just feel happy isn't going to cut it for someone who isn't used to feeling happy, who may even be depressed or miserable. When I was feeling low, I would just invoke trust. I would trust that everything was turning out just as it was supposed to. Everything was happening exactly for the best, and I allowed my mood to do what it would. I have discovered that by invoking the nature of trust or surrender, you can access the magical state even when you don't feel happy. Having begun to access the receiving state, your desires will now begin to appear in your life, probably when you least expect them, and probably only once you have forgotten you even asked for them. In light of this, try your hardest not to become attached to any particular outcome. It is far better to remain unattached, not just to how you will achieve your goal, but to whether you achieve it at all. This will seem counterintuitive at first, but once again, just try to get a sense of what this might mean to you. It is also very important to be open to the idea that apparent misfortunes are often blessings in disguise. In fact, things which at first seem to be misfortunes often eventually turn out to be steps to exactly what we want. The 2 steps to successful magic are: 1, ask; 2, get into the magical receiving state. But now I'm going to simplify things even further. The 1 step to doing magic is: 1, get into the magical state.